Hello. I want to go live because I said I was going to go live every Tuesday. So that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to stay consistent. Hi. Oh, I'm so glad that someone's here. I want to talk about this fight because it's been a while since I was this excited for a fight, even though I know people say it's just Caleb Plant. Like, if he didn't have a belt, would he really be fighting Canelo and all of that, right? And that's a valid question. That's a valid question. Would Canelo be fighting Caleb Plant if Caleb Plant didn't have a belt? Would Caleb Plant be a worthy opponent of Canelo if he didn't have the belt, right? Hi, people. How are you? Uh, yeah, I really want to talk a lot about this fight because it's history, right? Whoever wins is still going to be history. There's not a lot of undisputed champions in boxing, right? We were supposed to have an undisputed with Charlo and Castaño, but we saw how that turned out. So I'm excited. I If we can have undisputed in every division, I would be so happy. I would love that shit. And there's other things going on in boxing we can discuss. There's Jojo Diaz versus Devin Haney. Supposedly, per sources, right, is made official December 4th here in LA. We have Lomachenko versus Comey. Right, we have some good stuff going on in boxing. We have the whole Tank is now fighting Pitbull, Isaac Cruz instead of Rolly. So we have a lot of shit to talk about. So hey, hope Canelo gives the crap out of Eso. I agree with you. Um, I didn't know people were saying that. I didn't know people were saying that he should leave the money team. I know that a lot of people feel that way because I guess it ties them to everything else, all the bullshit that comes with the money team. But I don't know because I think Tank got to where he is today by having that attachment to Floyd. Of course, he has great power, right? We know that Tank, you don't fuck around with him. He has great power. He even put down Barrios, which at 140, that is kind of an accomplishment, right? I know people said, well, Tank's, Barrios' style is tailor made for someone like Tank, but you're still putting down someone who fights at a higher weight class than you, who's taller than you. So that's still, that's still an accomplishment. So I think that to to a certain extent, that being related to the Mayweather name does give him some sort of catapult towards becoming a bigger star. So it just depends on whether it will stay with him. Should he leave, should he leave Mayweather Promotions, then maybe he's already built to that specific star where he can stay a pay-per-view star. But I think his attachment to the name is what's helping him sell, what he's done. I think his best win has been Pedraza, right? But that's been a while already. It's been a while since he fought Pedraza. Dang, y'all don't like Tank here, huh? I'm not like high on Tank. I think he is he's powerful. Obviously, I would love to see him against better opposition, but I don't know. I just like him for personal reasons, like the same shit about Rolly. Like, they abuse women. Like, that's why I don't like them. But inside the ring, I can't. Tanks, can he prove more with better opposition? Absolutely. And to me, those regular belts don't mean anything. But I know that Tank does have what it takes to be, special in a way if he takes on the proper opposition. Whether or not he'll take on the proper opposition, that I don't know. That's the thing. We don't know how good until he takes on some better competition. I think he needs to fight the better guys of the division that are not regular champions, right? Because who cares about regular champions? I wouldn't. I don't like the narrative that Floyd was a cherry picker because I feel like everybody. I don't know. I don't like that narrative. I'm not. I don't. I'm not a Floyd hater. I'm not. I can't say anything about the dude. He's an all time great. Yeah, Haney would have made the best sense to replace Romero because he was also aiming for December, right? With Jojo Diaz, or just he was aiming for a December date. I just don't think that Tank and his people thought it would be a good idea to fight Haney in a last minute replacement, when they're training to fight someone like Rolly, right? To be training to fight somebody like Rolly and then come on in and then say, wow, now you got to face Haney, who's this guy who's more tactical, who's actually going to be, boxing and using his actual boxing ability. I feel like they're like, wait a minute, maybe we need a whole full training camp just for this specific fight alone. And of course, politics come into place, right? Like, we knew Isaac Cruz was possibly fighting Tank even before the Rolly fight got announced because he fights with PBC, right? And he's looked okay or whatever, and he's knocked people out. So I would have loved Haney. It would have made sense because again, Haney was looking for a date in December, but they're not doing all that. So I think that they said December 4th, which what is it, a day before the Tank fight? And if it's in here in LA, like that's cool because you'd had two fights here in LA. You had Tank versus Pitbull, and then the day before you'd have Ryan versus JoJo, and that's kind of not Ryan, Devin Haney versus JoJo. Yeah, I mean, I think it's too early to tell for Tank. I hope that he does do better up in opposition as the years develop. In 2022, I hope he does get better competition. Because to this day, I just think that Pedraza is his best name to this day, but not anybody else. I mean, Leo. I know people love to talk about the Leo Santa Cruz knockout, and people love Leo Santa Cruz, right? And they love that knockout. And was it a spectacular knockout? Yes, it was. It was a terrific knockout. But I don't think we expected otherwise. When that fight got announced, most boxing fans knew that Tank was going to lay him the fuck out. Like, we knew that. So when they started calling it knockout of the year and whatnot, was it a great knockout? Yes, it was. I just don't get why they made it knockout of the year. Like, we all expected this, or why people were so impressed. We all knew that Santa Cruz was gonna get knocked out by Tank. So I don't get that whole thing, but I do want him to get better opposition, honestly. Hello, Ennis versus Spence and Crawford versus Ortiz. Winners fight each other. I still would like to see Crawford versus Spence, and then let them fight each other, become like the top dog at the division, officially the top dog, and then wait for these bottom young dogs to come up and then kind of kick them out of the division, like send them into retirement. That's something I would like better than pinning Boots and Virgil against each other, or, eliminators. I think these two guys they're both have passed the eye test, right? I think Ennis passes the eye test much better than Virgil, but they both get hit, right? We saw Ennis get hit with a pretty great shot by Delorme. He can't be taking those shots with either Spence or Crawford, right? So I think both of these guys, if Ennis and Ortiz fought each other right now, it'd be pretty 50-50. They both look great, right? But they both like a little bit of defense. I would like for them to fix and polish those skills that they already have and then meet up. Because right now, or shit, I would love for them to meet up right now, and then whoever wins, and then once they polish those skills, meet up again at the top, right? Because even if one or the other loses, I don't think that it would, derail their careers that far. So in a Lily world, they would fight each other right now, see like who's the top prospect or whatever, or contenders. I think now I would consider them both contenders, not prospects. And then whoever wins gets that, shot, and then once at the top, they meet each other again. I would love that. And ICP, other people wanted ASAP too. Star Boots versus Virgil trilogy. Now, dude, that would be a sick ass trilogy. And I think what makes that the most exciting is the difference in styles, right? I think just judging from the eye test, we can see that Ennis has this ridiculous boxing ability. He just looks so smooth and fluid in there. He looks good, right? And then Virgil, he just looks like this fucking monster that comes at you, and he doesn't care if you land a punch or two on him, because he's gonna, whatever he lands on you is gonna put you down. And I think what hurt Virgil's, I think, chances, right, in people's mind against Boots is getting hurt with Cavaliaskas. But Cavaliaskas is a tough motherfucker, right? So I don't see that as like, oh, that means that he'll get beat by Ennis now, because I still think that'd be a pretty great fight, and I could see it happening both ways. I could see Ennis, just outboxing Virgil or frustrating Virgil, but I also see Virgil, getting outboxed, the first couple of rounds and then eventually hurting Ennis. But shit, I don't know. These both of these two guys, I love both of these guys. I love both of these guys. They pass the eye test. They have different styles that are loved by fans too. And I do think that Virgil does have a better resume than Boots. Boots, I think his best name is Lipinets, right? Lipinets is a good name. It's a good name because just like Hooker, he was a champion at 140 and he moved up. So both Boots and Virgil have that. A win over a former champ from a lower division who's smaller than they are. I think Hooker was taller than Virgil, but Virgil's more buff. Hooker's kind of a skinny mini. So I think they both have that. When people try to pin Boots and Virgil against each other, I tell them that it's like they have very similar resumes in the way that they both fought a former champ at 140, right? Coming up in weight, right? The thing is that I do think Virgil's opposition is more B level now, while Delorme, I would still have him at a C. Delorme has been stopped before, and I think that Virgil overall has the better opposition, but that doesn't mean, Ennis wouldn't beat him, if that makes sense. I would love that fight. I would love that fight. And yeah, I agree. I think he has faced better. I think ¿cómo se llama? The guy that beat Danny Garcia, ¿cómo se llama ese güey? Oh my God, my brain is fried, y'all. But you guys know who I'm talking about. I think he beat him. I think the guy beat Danny Garcia. Herrera, right? Was it Herrera? Right? I don't remember. I think he beat Danny Garcia and Virgil folded him, and that guy had never been folded before. I think one of his best wins is also ¿cómo se llama? See, I'm fucked up. Orozco, right? Relentless Orozco, who had only previously lost to Ramirez, right, at 140, and he went 12. He went 12 with Ramirez, who was his champion, who was a unified. Well, I don't think he was unified at the time, but he was a champion at 140, and Virgil came over here and knocked his ass out, folded him like a chair under 6. So I think Virgil does have better opposition, in my opinion. Boots. I think Lipinets is Boots' best win, but you do remember that he's coming up from 140. Delorme, he's had been stopped before and I think was coming off 2 losses, which once you break it down, it doesn't look that good against Ennis, right? Because Ennis is this really great boxer, and then you got against this guy who's coming off 2 losses. Not the best way to put it, but it's still a test, and Boots did what he was supposed to do, and he did it faster than I thought he was gonna. Right? I knew he was gonna get Delorme, but I thought it'd be maybe 4 or 5 rounds in, not the first fucking round. Those guys on ESPN Saturday had trouble with the opponent, especially the main event. Shit! Let's talk about that. I forgot, dude. It was so stupid because I was watching Boots, right? That's the one that I wanted to watch for Saturday. I watched Boots, and because I was waiting for the interview with Boots to be over, I wanted to hear what he was gonna say and shit. When I already turned back to Top Rank, it was over. That I saw they had Sean on someone's shoulder, and I'm like, is Sean barely making into the ring, and they're holding him on their shoulders, or what's going on? I was like, why is Sean on their shoulders? And then it hit me. I'm like, and I saw them taking off their gloves. I'm like, did this motherfucker already win? So I missed the Chon knockout live because I was just trying to see that freaking interview with Ennis after. But damn, after I saw it, I'm like, man, that's what Vargas gets. I'm not huge on the whole bland patriotism of Mexico and shit, but I mean, that's what he gets. You don't do that. You don't fucking do that. He was being hella rowdy and he was being stupid. So it's like, why are you doing the most? Especially not against I don't know. To me, it's just, you can trash talk, right? There's ways to trash talk and make it fun. But this dude was just being corny, Vargas. So I'm glad for Chon. That shit was corny. Someone says, I like Virgil to get some more head movement and counter punching skills down. Either way, yes, I think so too. And that's why I think there's a lot of comments about him, that he should leave the Garcias and that he should go train somewhere else. But I think, it's still early to tell. I think he still has time to be able to make those adjustments, without having to leave his trainer. Combat Talks, I just started looking at boots, and I noticed the opponent from the weekend just came off to Los. Yeah, he did. Dude, you gotta respect Blair the Flair, but he has to have a death wish because he's been put down so many times in fights. Yes, he comes back and wins, right? Blair the Flair has been down in almost all his fights, but he comes back to win it, right? I just think Ennis would murder him. But it'd be a good name for Ennis in the way that his resume, Blair, I think only has like 2 losses, but it was like a while ago. So, right? Or is Blair undefeated? He only got 1 loss. Point is, Blair the Flair has been looking good, right? In his fights, even though he's been down. But damn. And yes, we got Munguia versus Rosario on the 15th, right? The 15th or the 14th. And I'm really excited for that fight, honestly. Like, I do give Rosario a shot. I know he's been through a lot. I know he's made his face look like hamburger meat with Triple G. But it's like he's had like a rebirth, right? He did well against Jacobs, right? And then he did this to the Bully, which was, honestly, I didn't expect that. So it looks like he's having like a rebirth, like a second wind in his career. And I like Rosado in the way that he proves that you can have losses and still deliver fun fights. I don't think I have seen him in a boring fight ever. Right? And he gives it his all. And yes, Mauricio Herrera, right? Virgil's a powerhouse. I think he's good against. Yeah, I think Virgil is going to move up, but I think he does want to get a belt first at 147 before moving up. I love them both, honestly. Like, I hate seeing people pin them against each other on social media. And I see that shit on Twitter all the time. By the way, follow me on Twitter if you have a Twitter. It's down here. But I hate people pinning them against each other on Twitter. You always see it on Twitter. People are like starting a rivalry right now, and it's like, why? Like, both of these guys are good. Why do you guys have to put them against each other? I saw someone say Taylor Wise Virgil on 47. Well, the thing is that Taylor's a big for 140, right? So I think he'd fight good at 147. I don't know about wipes. Wipes is a very strong word. I think Virgil gives Taylor a good fight. I just think that first I want to see Virgil go the distance. I know it's not Virgil's fault that he keeps knocking motherfuckers out before the 12th, but just for experience sake, like ring experience. I'm not saying he doesn't have stamina. I'm not saying this kid doesn't train properly to have the stamina. What I'm saying is that, like, just for, like, I just want him to go to 12. I also think, I don't like the word robbed because Cepeda did slow down in the second half of the fight, but I also had Cepeda beating Ramirez by 2 rounds, and I just feel like that was more of a hometown decision because they were at the St. Mark Center in Fresno, right? Ramirez is from Fresno. So I don't like the word robbed because I think Cepeda let it get too close towards the second half. But he was outboxing the fuck out of Ramirez, right? And you know what? We should see it. We should see that KO. Because that was a good KO. I do want to see that. I love the slow motion. I love all of that. Boots against the guy who beat James. Yeah, they should do that, but I don't think they will right now. Because, the WBA is doing the whole thing where all these 4 guys got to fight each other and then fight Ugas to see who's going to become champion. The WBA is always on their bullshit. But that's why I think Ennis is supposed to fight the winner of the main event. And I hope he does, but I don't know. The WBA is on some dumb shit. They're always just doing the most. So let's see this knockout. Let me share the screen and let's bask in the awesomeness of this knockout because it was a pretty good one. And it makes me happy. What the heck? Hold on. I'm trying to share it on my screen. But it's hard. Technology is hard, you guys. I'm a dumb beach. Okay, there we go. Let me just share it. Okay, so let's... Dude, I would have stopped it right there. Like, he did... Why did he let him keep going? I would have stopped it right there. Like, ya ni sabía dónde andaba el güey. And then, oh my God, his brother became a meme because his brother was crying. not a very good angle. I want to see like the putazos he put him. Right there, right when he finishes him. The ref had to like get him off. So this is.
It blinds the opponent so you can get a kill shot in like that. And here we see Josue, we see Cepeda just doing what you're supposed to do. You come in there, you don't give your opponent the opportunity to recover. You it because it blinds the opponent so you can get a kill shot.
I don't know why they didn't stop it, honestly. I'm not going to Vegas for this one. I'm going to Vegas for Crawford versus Porter. I'm going to Vegas for Crawford versus Porter. This one I wanted to, but the tickets are so expensive, and I'm not. It's almost Christmas, y'all. I had 2 fucking kids. They want stuff, so I can't go to both. No. Yeah, me too. I just want to see good fights. I don't get it. I don't really root for anybody usually. I just want a good fight. And I do think that Cepeda won, you know. Oh yeah, let's look at the planned Canelo stuff going on. What's up from Texas? I should be going to San Antonio by the end, like probably in December. Yo, I do want to show y'all something. Speaking of plans cut, what the fuck was up with Canelo's lips? Y'all saw that too, right? Did y'all see that too? I'm gonna share it with y'all. What the heck was up with Canelo's lips? Hold on, let me take this off. What? Like, did he get his lip busted on the... What is that? Like, you know what I mean? Is his lip busted? Did he catch the herp? What's going on? I just don't... Hold on. Oh, my God. Let me see if I can make it bigger. Oh, my God. Hold on. It looks crusty. Like, is he okay? Did he, like, get hurt in sparring himself? Like, what is going on here? You know, he looks like he got fucked up. Yeah, he took a chance. He took a chance. But when you took a chance, you be grateful to who's giving you that chance. You are grateful to whoever gives you that chance, because Chon didn't have to fight him. Chon only fought him because Josue called him out. So if you're going to ask somebody to give you a chance to be like, hey, I want to prove that I'm on your level. I want to prove that I see you give Ramirez a great fight. I see you, look good against whoever the fuck. And you did that knockout against Baranchik. I want to prove that I can beat you after you did all that. That's what it's supposed to be. Like, hey, like, thanks for this opportunity. Not be out of pocket. That's not how you took chances over here. That's not how you took chances, okay? Heard Ramirez getting 10 million against Pedraza. 10 million against Pedraza? Where'd you hear that? Damn, I'll step in there for 10 million. I know people hate the Canelo Panda card, but Elvis. I like Elvis. I'm not, and he got kicked out of Top Rank, right? Right? Didn't Elvis get kicked out of Top Rank? And now he's fighting here. I'm not like mad at it. I'm not like ecstatic. It shouldn't be pay-per-view material. Like one or the other undercard should have been the opener and then a decent co-main and then Canelo. But I get that they're paying these motherfuckers a lot, so they're just not waiting, What up, Miguel? Yeah, it looks like he got like popped or something. And I hope so. I'm going to go with Miguel. Está güero. Yeah, when you're güero, everything just stays with you. Yes, I saw that, ¿cómo se llama? El gordito from ESPN, a los golpes. Fuck. Do you guys realize how I'm really struggling with names today? Yeah, he said that they ganged up. Josue supporters gang up on Cepeda and his family at the hotel, and that's trashy. Like, just freaking let it go. Like, you already lost in the ring, and you're trying to make it out and, like, beat him up after the fight. Like, that's so fucking corny. And, this is an educational fact, y'all. This purely educational for people who didn't get sex ed. Cold sores are a type of herpes. Cold sore is HVS1, which is herpes 1. There's herpes 1 and there's herpes 2. Cold sores are a type of herpes. It's less stigmatized, which is good. It's good, you know, you shouldn't stigmatize shit like that. But it's cold sores are herpes. Okay, let's let's look at today's stuff on Canelo versus Plan. Let me just read these comments real fast. No, you're a weirdo. Sean humbled him. I usually don't like the word humble. I don't like people's like obsession with humbling fighters, right? Like fighters who do take chances and who are great opponents should speak up. Like Defimo, right? People hate Defimo now because he's talking too much. He got a belt and he didn't just hoard it and he wasn't just like hogging it until he had to fight someone. Don't think I don't see you walking over there with all that candy, sir. Put it back. Thank you. I thought he was slick. But you know the whole I want just humble the people who are acting out of pocket when they don't deserve it yet, which is a good example with this guy, right, Vargas. So I'm about to answer the rest of the questions, but I do want to share the what happened today, in the presser. So let me know if you can hear it. I'm gonna show it up.
I love boxing. I love being in there in the ring. So being with my fans, I love being fighting.
What does Caleb Plant bring to the table on Saturday that you've never seen before?
He's a good fighter. He's a good fighter with a lot of skills, but it's nothing new for me. I've been in there with a lot of good fighters, so it's nothing different. I just gonna be. I just gonna do my things. Gonna put my experience, my skills, and win the fight.
We all can't wait for the fight Saturday night on Showtime pay-per-view. How does that fight end when you take on Caleb Plant?
It's I think in my opinion it's gonna be like 7, 9 rounds.
So that was that. What last statement? Translate the end statement. Which one? I don't think I saw a statement. Did he say something in Spanish? I don't know. He said, yeah, Salvador Rodriguez, Chava, right? They call him Chava. Yeah. Yeah, let me know what end statement you're talking about. Link me if you can, and then I'll see what he can do. I don't know. Like, let's see. I hate how US puts everything in PvP maker. Yeah, in Mexico, dude. Sometimes I go to Mexico to TJ just so I don't fucking pay for this shit. I might go. I don't know. I might go to Mexico and like watch this fight, but I don't know yet. Just because it's true, it's expensive. It's like $80, right, for like pay-per-views. Even UK people only pay like 20 something. Why are my glasses crooked? You guys notice this? Like, or is just my face that is crooked? Because if I put it right here, then like it's too high. Y'all see that? See how it's too high? But if I put it like normal, it's like slanted. My face is crooked. Sorry, I got sidetracked because I'm like, why the fuck am I crooked? Julian Rodriguez. I don't know about all that, but perhaps. Who faked undisputed for a year? Right? Yeah, he broke his arm. Yeah, he broke his arm and he was doing well on that fight too. I remember that. That was his first title shot. He was doing well. Let's see. Both camps are confident, you know. I love Have you guys watched the All Access? I love All Access episodes. I used to love 24/7 with HBO. I love All Access with Showtime. The fucking Killer Plan was eating tacos on a Tuesday and they look fucking weird. I'm like, oh god, like he's eating those white people. They're not like the hard shell tacos, but they have like all sorts. I'm just like, okay, like he's eating tacos, ha ha ha. And then like they had like these like random Mexican dudes like with cars at the beginning of the second one, like endorsing him or whatever. They're like, yo, we know what Killer Plan's been through. Yeah, we ride for him, he ride for us. And like the thickest accents, like to sell it to you is like, bruh. And yes, all herpes are transmittable with birth by birth too. That's why whenever a mom has herpes, she has to be on medication her entire pregnancy, so there's less chances of her transmitting it to her child. I was a volunteer at Planned Parenthood um, for college, like for some college credit. I volunteered for a couple months at Planned Parenthood, so I learned all this, and it came out pretty helpful. But yeah, it's you can definitely pass it down. Paulie Henry Canelo in Spanish. I did not see that. I didn't even know he spoke Spanish. He's fucking racist. I don't know he even learned another language. Thank you for the super chat. You don't got to do all that, and I just do this for fun, but I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. If I stream the fight, it would have to be on the Unholy page, not on YouTube, because on YouTube I'll get my channel taken down. I yeah, I could do that on the Unholy page, but I don't know about here. Here I could do like a watch party where we just react together, but I can't show stuff. Cause I was about shut up. That's not true. I think you guys are just crazy. Let's go to Tijuana. Let's go to a sports bar in Tijuana, get ourselves one of those big ass cubetas with like cerveza and fucking watch the fight. And I was earlier. I saw that badass home run for the Braves. I hope they win. I hope the Braves win. Fuck the cheating Astros. Sorry for the people from Texas who are here, but fuck the Astros. Like they fucking cheaters. Suck my dick. I don't know. I think he's still in Vegas. He's in Vegas with Rolly, I think. And while I have you guys on here, while I have 24 people on here, I really want to publicly say that I don't condone Rolly's behavior. Like, he is not my fucking friend. I do not fucking like him after finding this shit out. Like, he can die for all I care. I'm gonna get demonetized for saying that word. But fuck that dude. Honestly, I don't condone that shit. He can honestly live under a rock and never come out. So, fuck him. I hope he never gets a fucking payday after that shit. The Canelo clip with his son-in-law. I know. I posted that shit on Instagram. I was like, oh my god. I did not expect that from Canelo, honestly, because Mexico's just our dads are machistas, whether we like to admit it or not, and maybe not to a toxic extent, right? Because machismo is so ingrained in the Mexican culture, and it doesn't have to be like a horrible way. But we always heard it, right? Like, chillas como niña, or okay, te nomás las chiquillas lloran, or even to like women, they'd be like, hey, like, stop being a crybaby bitch, right? Like, pinche chillona or pinche chillon, right? You never hear encouragement. You never hear like, hey, it's okay to cry. Go get it out over there, or come here and we'll get it out together, and then you'll be fine. No, it's always like, órale, levántate, no seas pinche chillon, right? And also I'm like, oh my god, good for him. I'm in Cali. Oh my god! When I saw those and I saw like this skinny ass white dude like preparing them, I'm like, you're not even gonna get a doña to make you your tacos. You're gonna get some like. I mean, it's his nutritionist. I get it, but like, come on, you should instead do Taco Tuesday or Taco Night after the win and eat some real fucking tacos. Oh hi, yeah. You guys can always come up to me at fights. I don't bite. I'm usually just minding my business. I'm there. I was at the taco line. I was eating tacos, real tacos. And you can always say hi to me. I am not like rude or nothing. We can talk boxing and all of that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but they are. And they've been whistling. They've been whistling lately too. Canelo's card is trash. I'm not gonna blame PBC because the zone has put on some pretty shitty cards too. But it's pretty trash, yeah. Let's see what Caleb Plant had to say about this, about the whole thing. He always says this, dude. I remember when I was there for the presser where he's like telling us like, I do extraordinary things. You guys don't believe me because y'all live ordinary lives. I'm like, bitch, don't make this shit about me. I didn't come here to get attacked. Don't call me a normie. Like, leave me, that's my business, what I do in my life. But he was like basically making us feel like shit. Like, oh, you guys don't do shit with your lives. These are ordinary dreams. I live extraordinary life. I'm like, well, okay.
I mean, odds are just odds. Those are just numbers. Numbers can't measure what's in here. They can't measure what's in here. And I've been an underdog before, and they've been wrong before. So, numbers are just numbers. I don't pay attention to that. I pay attention to what I can be in control of, and that's my training, that's my discipline, and that's the game plan, and that's what we're focused on.
Saturday night inside this building behind us, the MGM Grand Garden Arena. You'll get the number one in the sport. How do you match up with him, X's and O's?
I mean, I match up well. If I didn't feel like I'd win, I wouldn't be here. So um,
That's a lie.
Saturday night, tune in for yourself. You can see firsthand.
That's
There's
a
nothing I
lie.
can say that will convince you guys. There's nothing I can say that will change your minds of, well, I didn't think you could win, but I think you can win now. So I can show you better than I can tell you. Tune in November 6th.
I have a problem with him saying that if he didn't think he would win, he wouldn't be there. I have a problem with that because yes, you would have, because for a payday, because Caleb Plant reminds me of like Boo Boo Andre, right? Boo Boo Andre, if he didn't have that belt at 160, then he wouldn't really be in most conversations because his opposition doesn't take him to be able to be in those conversations, right? Same thing, in my opinion, with Caleb Plant. Do I think Caleb Plant give Canelo problems? Yes, I do. Right? He has a long reach. He's taller than Canelo. He has a better jab. I do believe him when I say that he's not going to come here and just, bend over for Canelo to fuck him, right? Like, he's not going to do that. I do believe him. I do believe in his confidence. 100%. I do believe Caleb Plant when he says that. He's not going to be there and just hand Canelo the belts. I do think he's going to make it a good fight for Canelo the first maybe 4 or 5 rounds, right? But you guys have to remember that Canelo systemically breaks down his opponent and everything he does is calculated, right? There's a kind of a shitty example with opponent. He was going to catch Amir Khan regardless. But I do remember that, and I want to bring out how with Amir Khan, I had Canelo losing the first 4 rounds, right? Because because Amir Khan was moving and he was tagging Canelo and moving, and he was too fast for Canelo to be able to catch him, to counter him. But if you notice, he goes to Amir Khan's body. He starts hitting him in the ribs. He starts just tagging the body, right? I'm gonna try to look for a picture. And Canelo, that's how he slowed down. That's how he slowed him down, right? He slowed him down by doing that. He was able to slow Amir Khan down by going to the body and making him eventually plant his feet, both feet, on the floor. And I found the picture, and I thought that was pretty funny because I remember that Virgil Hunter told Amir Khan. He told him, do not plant your feet down. Like, keep moving. Keep your feet moving at every time. And he was doing that thing where he was like he looked like little deer. I don't know how to explain it. But I'm like, damn, like Canelo was able to hurt him to the body enough to slow him down and be able to do that. And same thing with Billy Joe Saunders. Billy Joe Saunders did better than didn't do as good as I expected. I thought he was gonna move more. I only give him like 2 rounds, 3 if I'm being super fucking generous. And same thing. A lot of people, just because he was moving, were giving him the rounds against Canelo, and Canelo was still systemically breaking him down, going to the body, countering when he could, to be able to, kind of put himself in that position of I'm the aggressor, right? And I think that he's gonna do the same with Caleb Plant. Let me see if I can share the picture. Because look at Amir Khan's body. Like, look at this area right here. That shit is fucking bruised. That is like bruising from all the body shots. Right? Canelo systemically breaks you down. And just when you think, well, whatever, because I see people say that. I see people say like, Caleb Plant needs to enjoy the first couple rounds because that's where he needs to do the most damage for Canelo, right? He needs to really get in there those first couple of rounds before Canelo figures them out, before Canelo is able to inflict any more damage once he kind of gets the rhythm, because Canelo's timing is just also impeccable. You know what I mean? Is Miguel here? Whoever says okay, damn it. I'm going to block somebody because I fucking hate this shit, yo. Y'all can suck my dick with that innocent until proven guilty shit. I know so many people who have like gone through the freaking system, and they, damn it. I don't have a moderator, but when I don't know, I'll do it next time. That's dumb. I don't do that shit. I don't do that shit. Miguel, are you here? I don't do that shit. Can you delete those people who are saying that? Since when has the justice system been kind to victims of sexual assault? Dudes rape bitches and they get 3 months in jail. Please, oh my God, Miguel, if you're here, get him out of there, please. I'm over this. I don't want to talk about it anymore because y'all gonna make me angry. Ugh, it got hot too. And I think Plan is gonna give Canelo a good fight those first couple of rounds, right? I think he is. I'm gonna have to screenshot this. This is probably my favorite comment of the night. I'm definitely I'm gonna share this on my Instagram because this is gold. This is fucking gold, bro. Why are y'all so fucking weird? Y'all so, Miguel, who wants to be my moderator? Get this fucking weirdos out of here. Thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate it. We're all the Caleb Plants fan. Oh, dude, this guy was trying to bet me money. I need to go back to him because he was trying to bet me money, and I'm down to take his money. Right, Caleb Plant. He said Caleb Plant's gonna box Canelo, and I can see that. I see when people say that. Don't get me wrong. I do see, So let's break down the arguments. Let's talk about Caleb Plant's his advantages against Canelo. Right, you have height, right? But when you think about it, it's what you do with your height, right? And so far, Canelo has been the smaller man in his last fights. Has been the smaller man, right? And no one has been able to do shit with their height. No one's doing anything with their height to be able to trouble Canelo at all, right? The only one, in my opinion, who gave Canelo problems and was actually in a competitive bout with Canelo was Triple G, and they were about the same size. So I don't do that. Miguel, can you please get these people out of here? Where the fuck is Miguel? Oh, never mind. I don't. What was I saying? Hold up. What was I gonna say? Hold on, let me go back to the comment because I think a lot of people have this argument too. Where Billy Joe Saunders is the same as Canelo, right? But I mean, as Caleb, but I don't think so. I think he's gonna do better than Billy Joe Saunders. I think Billy Joe really was there for. He tried to play it off like he could do something, but I honestly thought he would do better. I expected more from Billy Joe Saunders, but at the end of the day, you don't really know until you get there. That's why with Caleb Plant, I can't really say anything. I can't really say he's not going to do anything because maybe he is. Maybe he's going to give Canelo the best fight of his life, right? Maybe he's going to actually put his reach advantage to the test, right? Maybe he will. We don't know that. We don't know that he will or that he won't. So it depends. I just don't see it because he's his opposition, right? I think who is his best opposition? Uzcategui, in my opinion. My opinion, Uzcategui has been the best opponent that Caleb Plant has had, and he has been he even put Caleb Plant in a kind of shitty position in the second part of the fight, right? In the second part of the fight, Caleb Plant was going through it, and then I think Caleb Plant also gasses out, right? He gasses out in the way that in the second fight, even with Caleb Truex, he had Truex like kind of hurt a couple times, not like hurt, but he did he could have finished it. Like, there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to finish off a fucking guy that's almost 40 years old. There's honestly not that. It shouldn't be that way. You know what I mean? Like, all these guys should fucking should be taken care of. If you are almost 40, you should be taken care of by the champion. So I just think the level of opposition as he's had is not that great. And I see some people saying Canelo used to be accused of gassing out too. And I think we'll get there. Right? Well, right now, let's talk about Plant. Right? Caleb Plant is that's his strength. His strength is his reach. His strength is his height advantage, his reach advantage. He jabs well. He moves well. Right? This is basically That's his advantages, right? And but let's see what he does with that, because all of the other guys had the same type of thing against Canelo too, the height, the reach, the movement. But I just don't think that it's, to me, as opposition. You know, that's what it comes down to with me. Now, Canelo has this narrative that he's flat footed. I don't know if it's still going on, but that used to be the thing, right? He gasses, he's flat footed, right? The flat footed and the gassing shit, that has been following Canelo for the longest. But I do think Canelo kind of put that away when he fought Jacobs, because Jacobs, yeah, he's a little bit more robotic, but he does move, right? He does move. So I think that's when I kind of started thinking like, oh, okay, like I think he doesn't really do much. You know, like he's kind of moving away from the narrative that he's flat-footed. When he fought Jacobs, he kind of showed more head movement, more waist movement, right? And maybe he is flat-footed. Let's say Canelo is flat-footed, but he still makes up for it in waist and head movement, because that fight with Jacobs, he was moving his head and he was not letting anything catch him. Right. So I think that's what it is. I think that's why I think I don't really give Caleb Plant an actual shot at winning. Of course, everybody's going to give him the first couple of rounds, because he's going to be jabbing Canelo, right? And Canelo's going to be taking his time. I don't think Canelo's going to be there and he's going to be trying to trade with Caleb Plant since the beginning. I do think he's going to like try to impose his advantage right away. You know, Canelo's going to try to say, look, I'm going to be the one that's going to lead this fight, right? But I do think he is still going to take his time with it, right? And I think people are going to be giving him the rounds. A lot of people are going to be giving Caleb Plant the rounds, because Canelo's going to be kind of just working, you know, kind of testing him out. So I think that's what it's going to come down to at the end of the day, that even though Canelo is said to have these stamina problems, I don't think he has them anymore. I think that was a 154 Canelo on catch weight 155 Canelo. I did not like catch weight Canelo. He was doing the most, right? I didn't like catch weight Canelo. That shit was bullshit. But I do feel like he's moved on from that. I think everybody struggles, all fighters struggle against the guys who are more who move more, right? All guys do that. But I don't know. What do you guys think? I don't know what you guys think, right? Because that's my analysis of the whole thing. Yes, Caleb Plant has reach, height, jab. I think he could do a lot with that jab, right? He can do a lot with that jab. Most definitely, he can do a lot with that jab if he's able to maintain his distance with the jab and then not let Canelo counter. If he can just jab him to death, right? Maybe he'll have a good time. Look at Triple G. Triple G had a really good chance with his jab, right? A lot of people, that's all they mention. All they mention is that jab. That's all they do. That's all they talk about. But the jab, but Triple G's jab, right? By the way, shout out Miguel. Thank you so much. I owe you a lot of beers. I owe you a lot of beers when we go to Vegas. So I think Caleb Plant does have the attributes to be able to put on a good fight and beat Canelo, but he lacks the skills to actually execute that plan with his assets. He does have the assets, the height, the reach, the jab, the footwork, right? Can he have the skill to actually execute it? The experience inside the ring gained from fighting actual opponents to be able to put that plan in motion? I don't think so, right? And again, we talk about Canelo being flat-footed. I think that's behind them. We talk about him gassing out in the later rounds. I think that's behind him. And I want to know what you guys, let me go through the comments now. I want to know what you guys think about it, because that's what I think. But I see a lot. Caleb Plant has a lot of supporters. And you guys got to remember that Caleb Plant did really good numbers when he fought Caleb Truax, which I don't know why. I don't know why. I really don't know why people I don't know why people stayed and watched that, because it wasn't fun. I remember watching that shit at home. I remember I was watching Caleb Plant versus Caleb Truax, because I remember that it was eventually going to be a thing, right? That Canelo was probably going to fight him because he wanted that last belt. So I knew that was going to happen, but it wasn't a fun fight. It really wasn't. So I don't know why that was so much. You know what I mean? I don't know why that was so much of so many people watched that. That shit was boring as fuck to me, but that's just me though. Let me read the comments, see what y'all think of this. Hold on, let me put my glasses on straight. Let's see. Ah, says Plant Beach Uzcategui. I mean, Uzcategui was a champion, and I like Uzcategui's style, right? I really like Uzcategui's style, and he had, I don't know, that's a good question, but yeah, I think it's the opposition ultimately that's going to be Caleb Plant's downfall, right? Oh my god, I'm trying to highlight this fucking comment. I don't see Plant having the same stamina to outbox Canelo the full 12 rounds. Canelo going, I think so too. And Canelo actually said it himself, right, in that video that we saw. He said he's gonna be in the 7th and 8th round. I think it's gonna be a little bit after that, but I think it's going to also be around, like, I think 11. Kind of like, wait, when did Canelo knock out BJ Saunders? The 11th, right? I don't think he's been gassing lately. Hold on, let me see. I want to look up on BoxRec. Let me look on BoxRec. Because he did, well, you guys tell me. When did he broke him rib, and remember that? I love that interview with Triple G. He says, I broke him rib about his opponents. Hold on, let me see it. He's like, I broke him rib. Oh, and thank you again for the super chat. Caleb Plant. Someone tweeted the other day, we know that Caleb Plant would go 12 with Yildirim, and I fucking died. I was laughing, dude. I was fucking laughing when they said that. I don't want to say that. Like, I think that makes people like look like a hater when they say shit like that. But he did go 12 with Truax, who's like 40. So why wouldn't he go 12 with Yildirim? I do think Yildirim was, oh, there it is. I do think Yildirim was there just for a paycheck, though. I think Yildirim was just like, let me get my fucking money and dip, and then I could go back and kind of pick up my career, I think that's what it is with Yildirim. Yildirim did just want a paycheck. I think he definitely just want to come in for a paycheck. Damn, I'm trying to pick comments and it goes down. Alvarez is faster with his hands and Plant is faster with his feet. Other than that, Plant is going to get beaten up. I just want to see a good knockout, though. And yes, let's talk about this argument, right? Because Triple G, Floyd, and Lara gave Canelo problems. And I want to say that Floyd and Lara did give Canelo tremendous problems. Some even argue that Lara beat Canelo, right? But again, I don't think this is the same Canelo anymore. I think Lara fought Canelo when like my son was like barely born, and that was like 8 years ago. So I don't think that's the same Canelo. I don't think, yes, you can still say, hey, Floyd and Lara schooled Canelo. You can say that. And it's, it could be true. You can have valid argument for those things. But I don't think those arguments apply today. Just like people who say, oh, Cotto's brother didn't Caleb Plant say that? Like, Cotto's brother had Canelo all fucked up. Like, bro, this was like when he was 19. Canelo was 9. That was like 10 years ago. That was a whole fucking decade ago or more. And you're still bringing that shit up? Like, he has not been hurt since. So I think, yes, you can say these things. And while these things can be true, they no longer apply to present day Canelo. Does that make sense? Triple G is a little bit more recent, which is why I see that people do, why people argue for a third fight with Triple G, because Triple G is the only one who's been given him an actual good fight, right? So that's what it is. Like, I don't see. Let me just, damn, these comments are kind of. Oh, see, so we have a Plant fan here. I would love for Plant fans to say why they feel that he's gonna win, because I want to know. Dancing the way he does, yeah. I mean, let's see if he has the better stamina. Out of 10 shots, would you get Plant pulling the? Out of 10, what shot do you? I think I give him like a 3 or a 4. Though I did have a dream, y'all. I think at the beginning of the week, not this week. I think last week I had a dream that Plant knocked Canelo out. So if it happens, I'm gonna just say here. He said that I had a dream where in my dream Canelo got knocked out by Caleb Plant. So maybe soy bruja. Ya parezco bruja. Maybe I am one. You know, maybe I am one, and maybe it happens. I'm just saying. I had a dream where Canelo got knocked out by Plant. It's boxing, right? Anything can happen. I seen this too, but I don't know. I do see people. I did give Saunders like a bigger chance, but he kind of disappointed me. I was expecting him to do better. Canelo had made a lot of improvements, but yeah, I think so too. And those can't be ignored. So that's why I don't agree with people when they bring up old shit. Like I don't agree with that. It was during a pandemic and it was free. Yeah, people had nothing else to do or to watch. Veteran journeyman could have cost. There is a lot of haters and see there's fighters I don't like for example I don't like Billy Joe Saunders, right? I don't like Billy Joe Saunders. I've always hated him, and people think because my name is Billy Joe Saunders on Twitter that I like him or something, and that's not the case. I fucking hate Billy Joe Saunders, but that doesn't mean I didn't think like, oh, maybe he does box well and he but also it was the resume thing for me. Oh shit, I remember that. I watched that shit by my job drinking beer. But that also went 12. Oh my god. The only time he's knocked out was that Mike Lee guy, right? Like in the second round, he got that Mike Lee guy out of there. So yeah, I don't I would love for anybody who actually likes Killer Plant to jump on here and give an argument. I'm not gonna fight you on it, like, or just say it in the comments. I'm not gonna fight you on it. I just really want to know what argument people have. I've seen people supposedly betting on Plant. It's like, just give me my money. Just give me that money. Like I think 9 to 12 too. I think definitely in the later rounds. I don't think Canelo's saying like 6. And I don't know. I think Canelo's being really, really fucking like he's doing too much. I don't think he's gonna knock him out he said before the 9th or something like that, right? I don't know, but I don't know. Canelo. I just do hope that he does rile the crowd up. I love when he like goes like this. When he did that to ¿cómo se dice? With Billy Joe, right? So I love that. I love that, dude. I love when he did that. And I don't know. I do think that he could have done better. I don't know. But I would love for someone to say why is he good? Right? Why I like when people have arguments for their fighter. I just don't see it happening. I don't think it's gonna happen as soon as Canelo says it is. But I don't know. He's the one that saying all this, but I don't know. Let me see. Let me look at the comments. Plan will surprise Canelo. How? I would love for you to tell me how, Isidro. I definitely do want to know how he's gonna surprise him. I would love to know that. And if anybody wants to jump in and tell me how, I would love that. How is he gonna surprise him? Because again, I asked this question on Twitter too. Like, do you think that he's underestimating Plant, right? Because he's been saying, "Hey, there's levels to this," right? He's been saying this for a while. There's levels to this. He told them at the press conference. He told them, he said it in the shows or whatever. Like, hey, there's levels to this, right? I'm gonna teach him that he's not on my level. So does that mean like, hey, he's already by admitting that or claiming that Caleb Plant's not on his level, is he already taking him lightly? Like is he taking him lightly because of that? I don't know. A lot of people said no. He's just saying that his opposition has been better, which it has been. I love it. I think Canelo. I love his head movement. Like he has really amazing head movement, and we saw that with Jacobs, right? And he has a great chin too. He has a great chin because I thought Triple G was at least gonna put him on his ass. Like I thought Triple G was at least going to like sit him on his ass, like not super hurt, but like I thought he was gonna like kind of wobble Canelo, right? I thought that's what it would be. Hello, how are you? I also think so too. My brain says Canelo KO. KO's planned by the 10. My Canelo fanboy says Canelo in 4. So everyone think Canelo stoppage got 5 on a draw. Don't you know somebody else was saying that on Twitter? Somebody else on Twitter was saying shit like it's gonna be a trilogy. I'm like, y'all giving this man too much clout. Because again, what has Plant done? It's not like we're he's this guy who has been like knocking motherfuckers out or just looking spectacular against other guys. He's just this dude who can like box well. He boxes well, he does. That's it. Like what else does he do? So I don't understand. Like I really don't understand where they're getting this from. I don't know. It is PBC. It is PBC. I don't know. Where did we see recently where they gave it to the other guy? What was it? What fight was it recently where they gave it to? It was like a close fight, but I forgot who they gave it to. And people are like, "Oh, they went against their like little." I forgot which one. Let's see. Plan needs to KO Canelo to win. Yeah, there's also that narrative too. But hey, okay, stay in the argument. What I asked, how is Plant gonna surprise Canelo? I asked you what is Plant gonna do to surprise Canelo because you said Canelo's gonna be surprised by Plant, right? Cool. Like I want to know in what way, like what setup do you think Plant is gonna do to KO Canelo or I mean to surprise him? And when I ask you that, when you say Plant needs to KO to win, that just seems like you're already making excuses. So give me an actual answer, please. I want an actual answer. Quit, dude. I would have quit too. When I saw Canelo just standing there, like even before they checked my eye, if I saw Canelo didn't sit down, if I was looking over there and I saw Canelo just standing there, not even taking his fucking break, I'd be scared for my life. I'd be like, get me out of here. Not only is the Canelo better now, but Lara is better than Plant. Yeah, but that's again, that's like super old. It would be cool if they made her interview Canelo after he knocks him out. But hey, you never know. The real question is who isn't going to win? Who is going to win is whether or not Caleb Plant's newfound fans blame spiked water or wardrobe malfunction. No, you know what's gonna happen, right? if Canelo does knock out Plant, especially in like specific like crazy manner, I think that fans are still gonna be like, oh well, Canelo's on drugs, Canelo's on this, Canelo's on that. I think that's just gonna always be the argument. If Canelo gets killed by Plant, Conte has done it again and he deserves a raise. Well, he's his own boss, right? I need to put a Plant by KO bet. Somebody said they did, and that they put 700 to win 2,300. So if you want to bet on him, you should do it now. You should do it now. Because the odds are if you bet 700, you win 2,300. So if you believe in that man, please do. I got 5 on a long shot decision for Plant. I mean, imagine, I'm telling you, I dream about it. Plant needs to work on the outside, then smother Canelo on the inside. Yeah, I mean, he has the reach advantage and the height advantage to just bully Canelo, and with his jab, like set up maybe a hook with a jab, right? Set up the punches with the jab and just maintain Canelo on the outside. Not even let Canelo come in and try to counter. But it's easier said than done. I'm pretty sure all the guys had that same, excuse. Like, hey, like, I don't know what. All the guys go in there with those advantages and they don't fucking do anything with it. And again, I do believe that Plant's gonna make it more of a dogfight. Dude, when I'll listen to Artman when he pays his bets. That's my biggest pet peeve with people. Don't bet if you're not gonna pay because that is so ugly, y'all. That is ugly. Why are people betting if they're not gonna pay? That's not good. And yes, I don't want excuses, but it's boxing. There's always excuses. They call him sweet hands because hey, there's nothing wrong with dudes getting their nails done. That's just hygiene. That's just hygiene. You take care of your nails. Sometimes your nails get nasty. Okay, so prediction. Write this down. Early stoppage because of the cut rematch. No, don't say that. I don't want this to be controversial. I don't want no Lost Dogs podcast. No, let's not do that. Don't even no, please don't. Don't, please. Don't say that. I would be so freaking sad if it's something controversial like that. The problem with smother Canelo on the inside, I think Canelo still manages to land some good body punches. Yeah, I mean, that's true. I think that's gonna be Canelo's best bet, right? To go for the body, right? Like he has to go to the body or to the arm. Look what he did to ¿cómo se llama? Smith, right? Fucked up his whole arm was like this fat. So I don't see why he wouldn't do the same, I guess, with Caleb. I just don't think Caleb has what it takes, honestly. Not in skill level, but in level of opposition and experience. I'm gonna have to screenshot it. You guys are so fucked up. Oh my god, you guys fucking crack me up. I love you, Matt. Thank you for that. You made my night. Holy shit. I'm gonna post that on Instagram too. That shit fucking kills me. He has no teeth. Feminine lost. I don't think he lost money because he didn't pay. I can fucking bet 5,000 on Caleb Plant to someone and not pay them, so I'm not really losing money. Caleb face plant going to become the meme. I love the new meme of Vargas's brothers crying. That was his brother, right? He's like crying, and it's like when drunk people cry. It's just so bad. Yeah, he did because he said that he knew that was his strongest hand, so he was like, nope, and he big ass bump. He needs to summon. I love how some people are saying like, oh, he's what did they say? It's like, oh, he's black. Like he's the black community. He's what the black community needs to be Canelo. People just say the funniest shit on Twitter, and that's why I mean Twitter's a cesspool, but it's fun for boxing predictions because you always see people making the randomest predictions and then going back on it. You know? They always go back on it, or they do what you said, man, where they like say, see, I told you. And it's like, okay, yeah, you did, we saw it. No, but he eats tacos, so he might be Mexican. But I think that's what it boils down to, you know? Decision. So that's the first. That's the first. I think most people are picking Canelo to win by knockout. But I can also see a decision, you know. Caleb Plant has never been like hurt like that or knocked out or knocked down like that. So I think maybe it does go the distance, right? It can definitely go the distance. So I wouldn't count that out specifically just yet. I think we'll know like the first round. We'll start like kind of noticing the first couple of rounds. I don't either. I know I think I give Benavidez the best shot simply because again, Benavidez would really try to impose those advantages. But Benavidez is too robotic. Benavidez leaves himself fucking open. Not only his face, but his body. He's just coming forward like really robotic. Like he has fast hands and he has really great combinations. He goes up to like fucking 5-6 punches at a time, right, in his combination. So Benavidez is really good. But at the same time, his hands are almost always down. He's very robotic, and he's proven to be kind of undisciplined before, right? With the weight, so it's just I think he gives Canelo a great fight, but ultimately Canelo falls him to the body, in my opinion. Benavidez feels like he's y'all need to chill. Chill. Oh my god, you guys are so he doesn't give a fuck. Like he's just coming forward. But yeah, I think so too. He's so stiff. You know, he's so stiff. Aiden, is Canelo gonna win?
He's fighting on the 6th.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
By knockout or decision? Knockout. Okay. The only thing I question about him, yeah, his discipline has been iffy, right? So I don't know. And he does dress like a drug lord. Like he dresses like those narcos from Mexico with like the flashy ass shirts that look like your abuelita's cortinas. Like he just took the cortinas out of his abuelita's house and made a shirt with it. That's what I feel like. He's flashy, you know? But I think that's what it is. Even though I do give him the best chance to beat Canelo, not to beat Canelo, but to make it like a really good fight, right? Like to be making it really fucking interesting. But at the same time, I don't know. Let me see. I saw Plan getting KO'd, and I'm gonna wake up and realize he's. I don't think he can get knocked out a million times. I don't think he's ever gonna realize it. Hey, I don't know about the rules with YouTube and shirtless kids, so please go put on a shirt. I heard the zone is turning to pay to a channel now or something. Who has info on that? Who has info on that? On the zone now buying Sky or something like that? So it's not even gonna be an app anymore. Dang, Matt, you are ruthless today, Matt. I used to dress like that. So it's not your abuelita's cortinas, okay. Me and Benavides eat this at the same, but you guys are so rude. Berta BF and B-Ball. Oh, Berta BF and B-Ball got the best chances against Canelo. Yes, I think Berta BF does in a way that he has so much power, but you guys got to remember that Berta BF has also been down before. Berta BF has been clipped and put down before. 1, 2. He looked gas as fuck in his last fight. He looked hella gassed. He didn't look like spectacular in his last fight, right? I guess we'll have to see how he looks against Brown to see how we're going to analyze him coming forward on a possible fight against Canelo. But I don't think Canelo gains anything out of beating Bertapia because of how he looked in his last fight and how he might possibly look coming forward. People are going to be like, oh, well, he beat an old Bertapia, you know? Bertapia was already like 37. So I feel like they're going to be like, oh, he's old. Bivol, I like Bivol. I like Bivol's chances, but I do think same thing as with Killer Plant in the level of opposition, right? Bivol has way of a better chance than anybody because his style is so awkward, right? He's very tactical. He does have a great jab. He has good power, but not. He's kind of gone 12 with everybody, right? He went 12 with Smith Jr. and Smith Jr. wobbled him right in the 10th round. He went 12 with Pascal, I think, right? He went 12 with that Dominican guy. He went 12. He's been going 12 with everybody. So he just, if I think you have to have power to kind of, poner unas pinche calmazo a Canelo, right? Date quieto. But haven't seen anybody. Triple G had the best power and maybe Kovalev, but Kovalev was being safe behind a jab, so I'm not even going to count him, right? So I think you need to really pressure Canelo to try to beat him like that. Because if you can't hurt him, and I don't think Bivol can, he's gone 12 with everybody on his own weight class, right? I think stylistically he could embarrass Canelo, but the level of opposition to me is what would be my problem with Bivol beating Canelo. And Bertapiev, same thing. He does have the power. He does have the resume. I think the resume is okay just because he has Volstick in there, right? And he knocked Volstick up pretty drastically. But it's just that he's old and he's not looked that great, that like hungry anymore. So they're gonna be like, oh, he just beat this old motherfucker, right? So, Bertapiev and Bivol sitting by the phone instead of fighting each other. Well, I think Bertapiev is fighting Brown, right? So I think that's gonna happen also, like in December or something like that. Bro, close the door. Oh my god. Yeah, he's gonna payday. You want payday? I know that. If Canelo somehow wives that dude's at 160, 168, and 175, dude, I don't think 175. Who's champ at 175 right now? It's the champs at 175 is Bertapiev, Bivol, and who else? Who else is champ at 175? Ya ni me acuerdo. That division has been so fucking stale. No one fighting each other. The best fucking fight in that division was Volstick versus Bertapiev, and that was like 2-3 years ago already. So, whatever. But I wouldn't want him to go to cruiserweight. I see that shit all the time on like Facebook Facebook groups like, oh, Canelo versus Usyk. I'm like, what y'all talking about? Like, weight classes don't exist to y'all? Small KO, the Dominican guy. Oh, he did? Oh, Smith knocked out the Dominican before went 12 with. Yes, yes, yes. And he knocked out Eleider Alvarez. That shit was brutal when he knocked out Eleider Alvarez too. Smith had a really good run there. And people are saying Smith had no pop. No, Smith has pop. Look what he did to fucking what's his name? Look at what he did to B Hop. And took him out. Joe Smith, maybe Zurdo Ramirez. Yeah, Zurdo, I've never been impressed by Zurdo. I'm sorry to my Mexican community, but I do not do Zurdo. Like, he's okay, right? He's cool. He's good, but I've never been that high on him. I don't see, like, what is his best opponent? His last opponent, right? I think. I honestly don't get it. I don't get that whole hype train behind Zurdo. He's good. He's decent. There's nothing wrong with him, really, but I don't see why they have him so high up there or why they're so high on Zurdo. I'm going to do the most work like a true Mexican. And that's what I think, like, I think gets me, like, a little angry about certain people that they say, oh, Canelo this, Canelo that. Like, I wish y'all held, and I'm not saying y'all specifically, but I'm talking to the people who say these things. Like, hold your favorite fighters to the same standard. Because everybody criticizes Canelo and his resume, and it's like, what about your guy? What about the guy you want to fight Canelo? Like, everybody has someone for Canelo that they think can beat him, but that person has not done anything, right, to earn that. Or to, not to earn that, because, you know, Canelo fought Yildirim, so that's not a very good argument. The fuck Yildirim do? But I wish they had the same energy, you know, like, hey, this guy fight this guy, so why not? Joe Elder abused Smith. Who's Joe? Eleider? Smith can hit, but he's hella sloppy. And he didn't look that good. He didn't look that good when he got his title. Ramirez is the best boxing ability. I mean, I think Bivol. I'm gonna still say Bivol. I don't agree with that. I think Bivol's better. Just means Bisburro. Oh my god. I don't know, because again, they're both like in the same kind of boat with the level of opposition. I think it'd be a great fight. I hope that fight does happen, just because fuck, like, both of them fight someone with a fucking pulse already. Some people don't give Canelo credit. Let's see unify. Oh Lord, you ain't wrong. Or maybe after he retires, then they'll be like kissing his ass. I don't know. It's smoke for Canelo. Let's see if he wants it. With Fury, I think Bivol is the best technical fighter. Yeah. I think that's the better. Yeah, I would agree with this more than Zurdo. I mean, not with Zurdos, with Golden Boy. Maybe they can get some better fights done, because, you know, Golden Boy has been more open to making fights with other promotionals now in the zones. I think they could do that, right? I'm not a promoter. Shit. I think it can happen, right? Because Ramirez has been calling out Bivol, and I think Oscar de la Hoya has talked about this fight happening. So I don't see why it won't. I don't see why they shouldn't. I would actually really like that fight, because, again, both of them have very meh resumes, and I think that would be a good fight for each other. Canelo at a young age has been fighting good names. Yeah, I think that's like, you know, people are like, oh, he fought an old Mosley. He fought an old Cotto or whatever. It's like, well, then, but when was he supposed to do it? You know, when was he supposed to fight Cotto? When was he supposed to fight Mosley? When he was like 19? Or like, what? Like, he started at 15 and he's been gradually, or again, you can make, how do I explain this? You can have your guy also make these type of fights, right? And Canelo said that himself too, right? He said something like, if it was easy, then everybody would do it. And yeah, like, you can criticize Canelo and have valid criticisms, right? You can say, well, you can say a if and a but about every one of his opponents. You can say that, and it could be right. But again, why didn't anybody else do it? Everybody criticizes the Kovalev fight. Why didn't your guy move up and fight another guy in another division? Why didn't your guy get, after getting belts on 160, go up to 168 and get challenges there? Why didn't, like, you're aware that your dad your fighters can have the same, your dudes can have the same opportunities. Like they can make those things happen. So I'm just saying, like have the same energy. And you must not be on twitter.com, my dude, and I'm glad. Stay away from there. You must not be on twitter.com because he don't. Everybody hates Canelo. Everybody and their moms hates Canelo. So I think what I mean, I think it will, and I think it'll be early. I think it'll be early next year or mid next year because if Surdo signed to Golden Boy Promotions, I think they're gonna keep him busy because who the fuck else Golden Boy Promotion got right now? They got Virgil, right? Virgil is doing his thing, JoJo's doing his thing, but they don't have a consistent lineup with Ryan like doing the most. It's just kind of like, maybe when he dies, how when boxers die, all these people come on and talk about how good they were. Alvarez didn't beat Kovalev at full strength. I think I don't know. That's another argument that you can say that Kovalev could have beat Canelo if it was earlier. But earlier Canelo was doing shit at 160 or like 154, whatever you want to say, right? So I don't know. Kovalev even a bit past was definitely still threat. Yes, dude, that's what I'm saying. That's what when people say that shit, I'm like, well, then who would you have from? I don't know who do people like at 160? Like Boo Boo. Who would you have between Boo Boo and Kovalev? Who would you have between Charlo? It would be closer. It'd be more of a closer fight than Canelo versus. Than Canelo versus Kovalev, right? I think Canelo was doing great against Kovalev was doing great against Canelo just with that jab. People were saying facts. Killer Plant getting beat up. If anybody's beating Cinnamon Thanos. Cinnamon Than. I'm gonna have to screenshot that one. Matt, you are on one today. Are you have like coffee today? Other recreational things? What did you have today? Kovalev. Oh, dude, I remember seeing this tweet in Spanish where this guy's like, oh, el Canelo va a pelear con el triturador. And this sounds so much more intimidating in Spanish, el triturador, instead of the crusher, The crusher, el triturador. Yeah, but Ward took Kovalev's soul. Ward just ended that man. Like, Ward fucked him up. He was not the same mentally. And that's how fighters can be weak mentally, right? Because I think Kovalev beat Ward in the first fight. The second fight, he just took his soul. Ward took Kovalev's soul, but Kovalev was already beat down mentally from that loss, right? Some dudes can't take defeat like that. And we saw that shit with Kovalev, right? I think, I don't know. I think he was never the same after that. And that guy, Yarde, right? Anthony Yarde, what his name is? He gave Kovalev a good fight. He almost fucking beat him. He almost knocked him out. And I remember after he hurt him so bad, Kovalev went right back to his corner and Buddy McGirt told him, I'm going to fucking stop this fight. Because I think that's when his stablemate had just died, right? Dadashev, he had just died in the ring, right? For taking so much punishment. So I remember Buddy told him, like, I'm going to stop this fight if you don't fucking do something. And then he came back and he knocked Yard out. So I'm just like, damn. Did you give Virgil a title shot already? Well, Arrow is waiting on Ugas. And Bud is fighting Porter. So it's going to be a while. Canelo crashed out with his own contract, fought self-competition. Charlo could have fought Jacobs, and all they did was do Twitter fingers and yell at each other from across the room at some press conferences. And is it Canelo's fault that Jacobs is drained? Because, correct me if I'm wrong, but they are fighting at 160, right? And the whole IBF thing, right? People are like, oh, Canelo implemented this non-rehydration clause. That's not Canelo. The IBF literally has that. That's the IBF's rules for the belts. You know that, right? The IBF does a second day weigh-in and they do rehydration clauses. That's the IBF. That's not Canelo. I'm not saying Canelo didn't do some shit before like that, right? But in that particular case, it was the IBF. The IBF does that. They do that with everybody, not just Canelo, not just Jacobs. So same, I'm tired of motherfuckers signing contracts at a certain division or agreeing to shit and then later using that as an excuse. Oh, but if I would have been at my way, at my comfortable way, then I would have beat him. Then argue in the contract for a fucking better way. Again and again, this was for Jacobs' belt, which was at 160. Jacobs had a belt at 160. Jacobs had a belt at 160. So if his weight class is 160, where he holds the belt at 160, is it Canelo's fault that he's weight trained for the fucking division that he has a belt in? Explain that shit to me, please. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. How is he weight trained for a fucking weight class where he has a belt? He has a belt there. It's Canelo's fault that motherfucker weight trained on his own weight class that he has a belt in? I don't fucking get it. You could say that, I guess, about Chavez Jr., right? That they did a catch weight at 164. You can say that. You can say weight train Chavez. But Chavez could have been 175 that fucking night, and Canelo has still done the same thing. I don't get that argument with the weight drain when he had a belt at 160. He has to make that weight anyway because that's if not, he would have lost the belt at the scale. I'm just Ward lost. I think he did too. Ward knocked out Kovalev with a low blow. Ding, 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 ding. See, that's the thing. I do agree that it was a low blow. He hit him right in the dick. But I do think Kovalev was already hurt. I think Ward had caught him with like a body shot that like kind of folded like, Kovalev to the side. And that's when he like took him against the ropes and like hit him in the dick, right? I didn't like that Tony Weeks stopped it right away. Like Kovalev just like crouched over like this against the ropes and then he waved it off. It's like, bro, give Ward the chance to knock Canelo out. Give Ward the chance to knock Kovalev out normally, right? Oh my god. Another one I have to screenshot. The fact that Chavez here still sounds okay mentally amazes every time I hear. Dude, I know, because even fighters that are currently fighting right now, they sound all fucked up. Leo Santa Cruz is one of those. Leo Santa Cruz sounds really punch drunk already. I remember one time I asked him a question. I forgot who he was fighting. I think it was the fight before the Gervonta fight when he fought like that late replacement guy. And I asked him something and he took like dead ass like 15 seconds to respond. Like he was just quiet, like and like I'm just waiting, like what the hell? So I'm like, damn, like this guy, y después de que el putazo que le metió Gervonta, even more. Yeah, I mean it, but again, that's just the IBF. I don't know. Like that's the IBF. That doesn't have anything to do with Canelo. Like, I'm not saying Canelo hasn't done that shit before, but this particular, yeah, people. Oh my god, I dislike that so much. People are like, oh, but then don't sign the contract and negotiate something better or move on. But you don't get to like sign something and be like, well, actually, I bet if I was at this or if I did this or it had been this case. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. People saying Canelo avoids top fighters, but yet these fighters have not reached the top level fighting. I just want them to fight each other. See, I think Triple G's fighting Murata, which is okay, right? Like that's a Japanese champion, and it's gonna make good numbers over there in Japan because the guy is huge in Japan. But damn, like this whole time he could have fought Boo Boo because they're both at 160 and they're both with the zone. The unification fight should have been happened already. Boo Boo with Triple G, that should have happened already, right? So I don't know why it didn't. I don't know why it hasn't happened. What's the reasoning behind that? Triple G is with Eddie Hearn. Boo Boo is with Eddie Hearn. They both fight on the zone. 160. That would have been an easy ass unification match. Hasn't happened. Charlo, I would have loved that shit. Hasn't happened. Fighters you stop the yeah, it's really dangerous and it can make you like more like it's if you get hurt then you can really have bad brain injuries, the more dehydrated that you are. He was fuck He was eating tacos, so I hope it was those tacos, I guess. Before the shot of the side, yeah. You know what? I'm gonna watch that fight again tonight. Because I remember even the first time I watched it, I was drunk as hell. I went to a bar with my friends. This bar. It's like in Ontario, I think, somewhere over there, and it has like it's like a boxing bar, and I watched it there, and I was drinking like those big fish bowls of like liquor. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? It's like big old fish bowls, like full of liquor. Had like peach rings. I was fucked up. So maybe I'll watch that fight tonight after this. Ward gave Kovalev that goal. Stop it. You think it'd be another scuffle at the weigh-in? Yeah, probably. But I don't think they actually hit each other because then the fight will really be off, right? If Canelo busts his ass again. But then I don't think he'll be wearing glasses. I think there will be a scuffle, but I don't think they put hands on each other. It'd be kind of more like, in your face, kind of like Canelo was with Triple G. Dude, I don't know. He's fucking huge. Spence is huge, dude. So I don't know either. I think he's gonna be moving up to 154. Because he said that he wants to fight the winner versus Pacquiao after that, and then he's gonna try one more time to make the Crawford fight happen. And if it doesn't happen, he said he was gonna move up. I think that was a really close fight too. I think that was a really Matt. You're just making me screenshot everything you're saying. I'm gonna have to do a highlight reel just of your fucking comments tonight. Jamal Charlo don't want it with Canelo, neither does Dudu. They ain't got I just don't get. I like Charlo. I like Charlo's style, and he has better competition than Boo Boo, right? And he has a better argument for to fight Canelo than Boo Boo, because at least Jamal Charlo, he was a WBC mandatory, right? And then they elevated Canelo and then gave him that regular the I don't know fucking championship belt. I don't know, but Jamal Charlo had a case with Canelo because he was mandatory. Jamal Charlo was mandatory to fight Canelo Alvarez for the WBC before Canelo moved up, right? And that's where the narrative of Canelo moved up to avoid Charlo. That's where it comes from, right? Because there's people that truly believe that Canelo has been running from the Charlo since 154, right? That's the narrative. And I think there's more of an argument for Charlo to be able to fight Canelo because he was the rightful mandatory at 160, right? But his opposition is pretty fucking lame. Who would you say is Jamal Charlo's best opponent at 160? Maybe Trout? Or was that before he went up to 160? Who's Charlo's best opponent? Because that last fight, that kid gave Charlo hell, man. He gave him a great fucking fight in June, right? Montiel? That dude fucking was putting Jamal Charlo's, giving him some good fucking punches. I don't know who would be his best win. That Korobov guy, right? A lot of people feel that Korobov beat him, and so I don't know. Same thing. Like, I think Charlo has a good argument why he deserves a Canelo fight, but the opposition just doesn't do it for me. I think he should have been fighting better opposition to be able to hang in there with Canelo. And Boo Boo, I just don't get it, because again, if Boo Boo didn't have that belt that he got from a vacant because Billy Joe popped positive for the nose spray, he wouldn't be in the mix. Boo Boo Andre got dropped by Vanes, who got knocked out by Triple G in the second round. Boo Boo Andre got hurt in his last fight, right? So I don't know where that comes from. I don't know where Boo Boo's fans come from or what their argument is. I don't get it. How come Jamal Charlo? Well, remember the Charlo Benavides thing where Charlo was talking shit to Benavides. Benavides said, "Okay, fuck it, then let's fight." And Charlo said, "I don't fight people that are under 25." And then he said that he doesn't fight people unless they're vaccinated. And I'm just like, those are very peculiar reasons. And those are things that, the age that, I guess Benavides has to wait until he fucking turns 25. Almost, right, to be able to fight Jamal. But the whole vaccinated thing, that could be done. Benavides, I'm pretty sure he'll get vaccinated. He said he's gonna get vaccinated after this fight in November. So when Jamal said that, like, "Oh, I don't fight anybody under 25, and I don't fight anybody who's not vaccinated," it's like, are you for real? What are your thoughts on Katie Forbes ducking Jessica McCaskill? I'm not super great on women's boxing. I really like Jessica McCaskill though. I think her first fight with Brackus was really good and it was close, but the second one I think she made it a more decisive, decision or whatever. But I don't know the situation. I'm sorry. Canelo going to give Canelo Noogie Wedge. Stop! Oh my god. You guys are so. You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. I never root for fighters. I just want a good fight. I just kind of want to. I just want a good fight. But there's something about Caleb Plant that I'm just like, man, I do not like that guy. I don't like that guy. So I would love for Canelo to knock his ass out. Ward by KO wasn't a thing of beauty. He got it done. Ward? I don't.
I thought you liked him because you're always talking about him.
I'm always talking about Caleb Plant because he's fighting Canelo. If he wasn't fighting Canelo, I would not be talking about him. Ward by KO wasn't a thing of beauty, but he got it done. Yeah, he is. Speaking of weird weights, Charlo and Booba are ones they should move up. Well, I would love for him to move up, both of them, but they're not gonna leave their belts behind. Speaking of Spence, how does he even make weight? Canelo wants.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he'll go up if he fights Canelo. Alvarez is going to end up fighting. No, he said it himself. Canelo is one petty motherfucker. Canelo is so fucking petty. So I feel like with Boo Boo, once he saw how Boo Boo came at him, he's not gonna give him that fight because he knows that he's like, oh, like you on payday. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. My point is that who is he? Who has he fought? Okay, fine. That was a long time ago. That guy in his last fight wobbled him. Some random, like not even top 10 dude wobbled fucking Boo Boo Andre. We don't even gotta go that far. Fine. Vanes, fuck him. Let's get him out of the fucking picture. The last guy that Boo Boo fought wobbled Boo Boo. We don't even gotta go that far. Fuck Vanes and him dropping him. Fuck that. That was 100 years ago, right? Boo Boo's last fight, he got wobbled by some random. Planet apparently realized his appearances. He just looks like the guy who will like tell somebody to go back to their country if they get their order wrong at a Taco Bell. He just looks like that. Same with his wife. Canelo should be dedicated to fight Caleb's mom. What are you talking about? Caleb's mom? Caleb's mom got shot by the police and died, right? So I don't get why y'all are making those jokes. That's kind of rude. I need to watch all these fights. Hello. So, y'all, that shit, I don't know. We can sit here and argue all day about Boo Boo if you want. I just don't think Canelo gives him that fight because he's petty as fuck. And Canelo knows that whoever's going to fight him gets a payday, right? And I don't think Canelo wants to give Boo Boo a payday. And why would Canelo fight Boo Boo? Unless he goes, because he already vacated all the belts at 160. So he doesn't, he's not going to do that unless someone moves up. I don't think he's going to fight any of the guys at 160 unless they move up. Right? Triple G if he moves up. Charlo if he moves up. So I think if he likes the way that the fights go with PBC, right? Maybe he'll fight Charlo next. Maybe he'll fight Benavides next. I would love that. Horrible fighter. Horrible. You fight nobody. And yes, this is my Gengar sweater. I stole it from someone and I never give it back. They deserve it, so it's okay. But I think I'm going to go live post-fight. Like, I'll go live after the fight so we can talk about it. And I'm going to, so we can watch the press conference together type of thing, right? So that's what I'm going to do. I can share the screen while the press conference is going on. And we can talk about it. And if Canelo gets a sweet-ass knockout, we can play highlight reels over and over and over and over and over again. And maybe, who knows, maybe Canelo will never, will kill a plan now. So before I leave, what would be next for Caleb Plant should he lose to Canelo? What would be next for him? Would he become kind of like a gatekeeper at 168 where it's like, well, he was a former champ, so it's good to have him on your resume, and he fought Canelo, so it's good to have him on your resume type of thing? Is that what's going to be next for for Caleb Plant? Y'all think? I think that's what it's gonna come down to. If Canelo beats him, and knocks him out and beats him decisively. If it's competitive, Canelo's not gonna live that shit down. If it's even slightly competitive, Canelo is not going to live that shit down. Because they're gonna be like, oh, see, Canelo said that he's gonna knock him out. And oh, Canelo said that, 8 rounds or 9 rounds. Oh, Canelo said there was levels, and look at Caleb Plant was at his level. Right? So I think if it's slightly competitive, which I think it'll be, competitive-ish for the first couple rounds, I think people are definitely not gonna let Canelo live that shit down, bro. They're not gonna, dude. That's a good ass fight, and I'm gonna miss it. Let me put the sticker out. I'm gonna miss it because I'll be at a concert. I got these tickets before I knew that there was gonna be that good of a fight that day. I think I have Fulton just because he boxes better, but Figueroa throws some Juarez punches and he can hurt people, right? But then again, you gotta think that Nettie moved up in weight, so but I did think Nettie was gonna beat Figueroa, but Figueroa proved me wrong. I think I still got Fulton just on the eye test. I think Fulton looks better boxing wise. Figueroa obviously I think got the more power, but he's very sloppy with his punches. And if he opens up too wide when he's throwing those punches, and I think that's when Fulton can have success to counter or even pop him before he even gets to land those punches, right? So I think I'm gonna take Fulton, but it could either be Fulton by decision or Figueroa by knockout because Figueroa he kind of goes all in. I don't trust why I think the comments about Canelo's tacos. He said modelos. He said the Mexican fans drinking modelos with their feet up in the air. I was like, damn, like he really came for us. The comment that I thought was kind of ridiculous was when he said something like, oh, Canelo's bullshitting about the meat. He's like, who the fuck goes to a random street? Who the fuck eats random food in the street? And I'm like, damn, dude, that's like literally Mexican culture. Like, if you go to Mexico, it's just people eating in the street. Like, it's people literally eating in fucking corners of the street, eating tacos, vendimias, right? Like, el puesto de los tacos. That's in the street. That's like in rent. And it's not like here where it's a taco truck, like, next to a mechanic place after dark. No, it's in the street. Like, you are in the sidewalk or somebody's house, somebody's, like, yard. That's literally how they do it in Mexico. So when he said that, I'm like, lose if Benavides when he lost, Benavides is still there. If Plant gets knocked the fuck out, he's gotta evaluate his life. Well, I mean, I don't. If Plant loses to Canelo, I don't think he'll fight Benavides after that. That's just me, though. I don't think he does because I think Benavides does him the exact same way. Canelo and Benavides are gonna take turns on Caleb Plant like a piñata. Dude, do you think he does? Do you think he does fight Benavides after? Maybe he does. Maybe he does. My favorite taco guy's shop has in his garage. In Mexico, I like the ones that are like right next to the Oxxos. I don't know what it's about. Every time you see a taco truck next to an Oxxo, that's just go. I mean, a taquero, that's just gonna be fucking fire. I love that shit, dude. Oh my god! I'm gonna screenshot this because that is true. Unless those homies are like the ones that drink IPAs. I mean, I'm not gonna. I drink IPAs, but I also love me a fucking Modelo. I love Modelo. I love Pacifico. Pacifico is probably my favorite, but I love Modelo. I love the piña one. I like the regular one. I like the michelada. I like all of them. But yeah, like I love how they opened. That's how they opened the part 2 of the All Access with fucking Caleb Plant and his Mexican homies with their thick ass accent and their lowriders, and it's like this isn't suspicious at all. That's like product placement, but with people. Like they're endorsing him or whatnot. Canelo fighting Benavides? Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe yes. I think Canelo. We've basically accused Canelo of like, oh, he's not gonna fight this guy so many times, and we've been wrong. So I'm not gonna say no because Canelo's proved me wrong too many times. And Canelo should fight Chavez Jr. Bro, he would take that shit too. Chavez Jr. would love that shit. And Oh my god, they drink White Claws and Truly. I drink those when I feel like, damn, I'm gonna get too bloated if I drink beer, so I'm gonna just drink this stuff. But they're not good. They're just good to drink, just to get the small liquor out of it. But and when you don't want to be bloated by like beer, but you also don't want to get super fucked up with liquor. It tastes like if you get like a soda water and you put and you eat a jolly you lick a Jolly Rancher for like for a couple of hours, and then you leave it out, and after a day you put that Jolly Rancher and soda water. That's what it tastes like. What about you, Bank Junior? Uh, well, you Bank Junior was supposed to fight recently and that fell off, right? Dos Equis. Dos Equis, and that's, I guess that's okay. Dos Equis is okay. Caleb Pine got those generations solo. Post Malone. You know what? I posted when you said that. You said that shit in a previous live, and I posted that shit on Instagram. And like, I think Virgil Ortiz commented on it, and he's like laughing my fucking ass off, like Mumble Boxer. Like he really liked that shit. I posted that a while ago, and Virgil like put laughing my fucking ass off at Mumble Boxer because you said that before. Gumbo isn't Gumbo like 130? Are good for the beaties? I'm confused. Bitches? I'm confused. But guys, we've been here for an hour and 46 minutes. I do appreciate your time today and you guys talking with me because I do be bored here. I get fucking bored after my job. So I do appreciate you guys talking to me. Like, it's every Tuesday at like 6:45 ish, 7, depending on what other sports are going on. Did the Braves win? Is the game over? I hope the Braves win. But yes. Oh shit! 7-0, bottom of the ninth. Oh my god. Okay, let me get off y'all so that I can watch this shit happen and be happy about it because fuck the Astros. Okay. Saturday after the fight, be here. And we're gonna talk about it and drink. I'll probably be drunk off my ass. I'm not gonna lie, but it'll be fun. It'll make fun conversation. And if anybody wants to jump in too on the lives next time, hit me up on Twitter so that we can we can set that up so that you can come on live with me. Munguia versus Rosado. I got Rosado. I mean, I got Munguia. I don't know, actually. It's 50-50. Munguia is still kind of green. I don't know when the fuck he's gonna not be green. And Rosado, he seems like he's got a second win on his career. So I think I don't know, honestly. 50-50. But yes, Tuesdays, 6:30, let's say 6:30. Saturday after the fight, come here and yes, follow me on social media. I'll see you guys later. Fuck yeah, let's go. Fuck the Astros.